is a dream. But right now you might be thinking, this is all a little harder than it seems, a little harder than it seems. You know that every time we question what is wrong and what is right, yeah, we get a little closer, baby. We get a little closer to the light, a little closer to the light. Feel your hand in mine. I want to sail around this wicked world with you in your arms until the end of time. Till the end of time. They say that nothing really matters, yeah, and we're only what we feel. Time and time itself might be an illusion that makes us the moments, yeah, only the moments that we can steal, only the moments we can steal. And in a sticky heat of wonder, where it is we're going to, cold rain answers, well, don't nobody know. But I believe in only me and you, and I believe we can go anywhere, anywhere, anywhere we want to go. Oh, anywhere we want to go. Feel your breath on me, as long as your hands are mine. I want to sail around this wicked world with you in your arms until the end of time. Say that nothing really matters. They say that we're only what we feel. Ask me again, and I'll tell you what I think is real, what I think is real, oh, what I think is real. Real is your breath on me, real's your hand in mine. I want to sail around this wicked world with you in your arms. I want to sail around this wicked world with you. Go on, go on, go on. Till the end of time, till the end of time.
if you don't know, I am a mom. I have 2 kids who are not so kid-like anymore. But this week I was in an office space with them, and something happened that I wanted to share. Since they were very little, I've always been very, very aware of and very careful of body shaming. So even when my little ones would sort of poke at my belly and be like, "Why is your belly so soft? Like, why is it like that?" You know, out of childlike innocence, I would always like put my hand on my belly, I would rub my belly, and I would say, "You know what, I love my belly so much. My belly does so much for me. It holds my food, it helps me get my nutrients, and it helped hold you while you were getting ready to come into this world. So I love my belly very much." And so I've always been conscious of that. And then this week, as we're in this office, it's all mirrors and very harsh lighting. So I had this, I guess, sort of egoic moment of catching my reflection in the mirror and being like, "Oh, like, what is that?" Right? And it was enough that my 13-year-old noticed, right? So she reaches over and she puts her hand on my shoulder and she goes, "Bruh." Right, because that's what she calls me. "Bruh, let's think about this from a spiritual perspective." Yep. Mm-hmm. She goes, "You're beautiful." She says, "And you have experience becoming."
Wow.
First of all, I was like, yeah, it's my kid.
Good job.
Right? And then, oh, and she's so right? Touche. You got me. And thinking of that, you know, it's been, for me, a year of shedding, right? Of letting go of things mentally and spiritually and physically. And so she hit that nail right on the head. And it reminded me of this excerpt from a book that I had seen recently by John Rodell called "Hey God, Hey John." And so it's conversation between the author and God. And they're talking about how he's scared of changing and, you know, scared of releasing those things which no longer serve him. And God says, "I keep telling you, you aren't changing, you are becoming." And John says, "Becoming who?" And God says, "Becoming who I created you to be, a person of light and love and charity and hope and courage and joy and mercy and grace and compassion. I made you for more than the shallow pieces you have decided to adorn yourself with, that you cling to with such greed and fear. Let those things fall off of you. I love you. Don't change. Become. Become. Become who I made you to be. I'm going to keep telling you this until you remember it." So to me, this became a moment of remembrance, of stepping into truth and becoming. And I think that's going to happen every day. That releasing, that letting go until it doesn't anymore. Right? And I thought about it like, how many licks does it take to get to the center of that Tootsie Roll Pop? Right? I don't know, and by this time, like, I've just stopped counting. So may we take this into a time of prayer. Holy Heart of the universe, may we enter this time with an open heart and an open mind. May we release the fear, the anger, the self-judgment, the thoughts, that separate us from becoming who we truly are in this now moment. May we access and remember our divine nature and our compassion and grace and mercy. And so it is.
This night's far from over, said the mirror to my reflection. So daylight's just a rumor, it said, and I believe. You can get so far in over your head that you can't get out from under, when the truth that you're looking for is really somewhere in between. So like a road, like some twisting, turning highway, so like a dream, one that trembles and explodes, the moon and the stars like headlights on the highway. And if life's like anything, like a road. Lying there in the dark, I felt just like a child. Felt like everything I had was gone, and then I opened up my searching for something I could hold forever long. Right now I feel like I'm right where I belong. So like a road, like some twisting, turning highway, so like a dream, one that trembles and explodes, headlights on the highway. And if life's like anything, I'm so like a road. Like a road, like some twisting, turning highway, so like a dream, one that trembles and explodes, the moon and the stars like headlights going my way. And if life's like anything, so like a road.
Yeah. Every week, I pull this card, and I call it the jar card, because it's in a jar. But you are invited to answer these questions at any time and let people know what you think about Spiritual Soul Center. This one doesn't have a name on. Your name is optional, because if your name's on here that you'll be asked to come read your card, like last week when Miles was here. If you missed that, you missed a moment. It's on my blog. Did you read my blog this week, Rachel? Yeah, the blog. I couldn't get it out of my mind. It was a moment. It was a moment in time that seemed otherworldly, right? Who was here? It was like that, right? Anyway, no name on this card. So that's the way it is. But here's the answers. Why Spiritual Soul Center? It's finally a place that fits with what I believe spiritually without all the dogma of religion. It is warm and welcoming. What have you discovered here, or what are you hoping to find? I've discovered a place of like-minded, positive, high-vibing, positive and loving people and messages that help me be the best and something. How does it feel here, or how are you hoping it will feel? It feels connected, peaceful, at home, and like I'm with my village. And how will you enrich this space in our community? By showing up with an open heart and mind and blessing our space and members with the love that flows through me. Man. That's good. Yeah, maybe you can come up here and give a talk sometime, whoever that is. Now they're really glad they didn't put their name on it. Right? Everything is so synchronous this morning. I have an invitation for you this morning. And I know it's already coming into the third week of January, but I have an invitation. I know some of you did the burning bowl thing and you burned what you didn't want and claimed what you did. And some of you here were last week and you had your white stone and you wrote your new name on your white stone. And some of you were even here for Terry Mann and Connie Worth's workshop yesterday, creating a vision board. And all that had happened already. And so now I'm going to give you another invitation. Well, here's the invitation. Now it's time for the work to start. We've set all that up, but now we've got to live in this world that is incredibly beautiful and incredibly painful at the same time. Incredibly confounding and incredibly just amazing at once. But how do we live here? I mean, that's where the work is, right? I mean, I love the white stone. I still don't have my word yet, and maybe you don't either, but it's coming. It's coming, because it's not coming, it's coming through me. It's not coming even to me. It's coming through me, and I don't have it yet. And I love all that, and we've got to live in this world in the meantime. And I can tell you, and I know some of you are the same way, this whole war thing and how much it's on the news and how much I take it in is just makes me ill so often. But we've got to figure out how to live here. So I got some inspiration from a quote by Neil Gaiman. And he wrote this in 2011. And this is where I took off with this message today, this invitation. And here it is. This is the invitation. I hope that in this year to come, you make mistakes. Because if you are making mistakes, then you are making new things. You are trying new things. You are learning, living, pushing yourself, changing your world. You're doing things you've never done before, and more importantly, you're doing something. So that's my wish for you and all of us. My wish for myself. To make new mistakes. Make glorious, amazing mistakes. Make mistakes nobody's ever made before. Don't freeze. Don't stop. Don't worry that it isn't good enough or it isn't perfect, whatever it is. Art or love or work or family or life, whatever it is you're scared of doing, do it. Make your mistakes this year and every year. I'm like, yeah! Can't you feel it? It's like, make a mistake, like take a risk. Like, come on, we're playing it safe. We only got this one time in this body. Like, make a mistake, and we're all going to go out here and, yeah, make a mistake. And then we're going to get to the end of the sidewalk, and we're like, I don't know about that mistake. Like, I don't like how I feel when I make a mistake. Like, really? It sounded really good when Paula was reading that quote, but I don't like it. I don't like it the way it makes me feel. You know? Because there's a chance it won't work out. There's a chance I might be embarrassed. There's a chance I might fail, especially in front of a whole crowd of people. There's a chance I might get it wrong. So should I really take and make it my New Year's idea to make a mistake? I don't know. So as I do, when I read a quote like that and then I sit with it in my chair, I started thinking, well, but there's a lot of different kinds of mistakes, aren't there? There's a lot. So I made a list. I made a list of the kind of mistake, because what is a mistake really? What is a mistake? Like, we think it's a mistake when things don't go according to our plan, right? It's like, it didn't work out. It didn't work out. That's a mistake. Or I made an error in judgment. It wasn't my best. Like, that was not my best. It was a mistake. Maybe I didn't know any better. Maybe I didn't have all the information, and I made a choice, and it was not the good choice. It was not a good choice. I remember one time I made the choice. We were living over in a different house, and I made the choice of hiring this guy to trim our camellia bushes. But I didn't tell him anything about the way I wanted it done. And when we came back, they were annihilated. And Renee was like, see, you should have told him what to do. It was a mistake, it was a mistake. I didn't give him enough information. I didn't get what I wanted. It was a mistake. It was a mistake. Renee didn't let me forget that mistake for a little while. But it was a mistake. I make a mistake when I believe something that isn't true. All right? If I believe something, it can be a mistake. A poor choice, not one that was well considered. Maybe I moved too fast, and I made a choice, and it was a mistake. It was a mistake. It was a poor choice. All these different ways of making a mistake. Maybe I tried something that I didn't have any business trying because I didn't have enough experience to try it. And I made a mistake. It happens. It happens when we step out of our comfort zone, too. We end up not getting it right every time. When I said yes, even though I was unsure about something. Those are all opportunities to make mistakes. And all of us have had the opportunity to make mistakes. I will project out on you and say that there's not a person in this room who hasn't made a mistake. We have that in common. The problem is we don't know what to do with the mistake. Sometimes. We don't know what to do with it. We would rather avoid mistakes. We would rather pretend that we didn't make one, or not try something so we don't have to make one. We would rather not expose ourselves to that. The old thing, don't let them see you sweat. Even when you make one, you're not going to admit it. You're just going to walk as if you didn't make a mistake. See, we don't know what to do with them. That's what I came to the conclusion of. And the biggest mistake I think we make, that's crazy to say. One of the biggest things I think we have in common about is this mistake, is that we look at other people and think that they have it all together and maybe they haven't made a mistake. That their life looks really good. Like they look really good. They got the nice threads on, they look healthy. They look, the way they look. The way they look on Facebook looks really good. Who puts crappy stuff on Facebook all the time? Nobody. Who's honest on there? Well, there's one person in here who I know is, and it's not me. But we look at other people and we think that they're okay, and then we think that, well, we don't want to look that way. We want to look as if we have it all together, but we don't. We don't. Everybody's got something they're dealing with. Everybody. Nobody's off the hook, and nobody has traversed as long as you've traversed in this life and not made a mistake. It's just the case. But like I said, it's what we do with it. Here's what I think. Here's what I think a mistake is. I have have some visuals here I can get out. Here's my definition of a mistake. I wrote it down so you can see it. I think a mistake is simply a chance that didn't feel. A mistake is a chance that didn't feel the way it feels in the beginning. Is that right? A mistake is a chance. Oh, a mistake is a chance that didn't feel that way in the beginning, right? It doesn't feel like a chance. Whew. I thought maybe I had a moment. I think I made a mistake. Everybody's laughing at me. I think this is what a mistake is. It's a chance that doesn't feel like that. You know, because it feels bad. It feels embarrassing. It feels heavy. It feels hurtful. I feel disappointed. I feel unworthy. Like when I make a mistake, it doesn't feel like a chance, but maybe it is. Maybe a mistake is simply a chance wrapped in misery, or wrapped in embarrassment, or wrapped in something that doesn't look like a chance at all. I'm like, oh, that's feeling a little better to me. That's feeling a little better to me. It's simply a chance that doesn't look like a chance right off the bat. It doesn't look that way. That's the thing. And I think that I will now share the flow chart of a mistake. I worked hard on this one. So here it is. Here's the mistake. And I am using this as the inaugural presentation with my new pointer stick. Lovingly given to me by one of you in my Christmas gift basket, by the way. So I was like, that's interesting. That's an interesting gift, but here it is, used in January. So mistake. Oftentimes how we feel about a mistake is, like I said, disappointed, worthless, ashamed, afraid, mad, stupid, right? We make a mistake and we have this feeling like we did something wrong, or something's wrong with me. There's something wrong with me. That's what we start doing. So then we have a choice about this, though. We have a choice about the way we feel. We can either admit our mistake and own it, or we can try to hide it, deny it, bury it, pretend it, defend it. Have you ever been there? Yeah, I've been here. I've been here too. But then here's where the path splits. Because if I admit it, I think this is where I can feel like I have a chance. Whereas if I just hide it or defend it or bury it in me, I don't have a chance with it. And with no chance, I end up carrying it, that mistake, in me, and then I just do this loop here. Then I feel worthless, disappointed, I just push it all down, afraid, mad, stupid. I still try to hide it because I'm feeling even worse. Then I got no chance, I'm carrying more of it, and here I am doing this loop. This is the loop of stuck. Doesn't go anywhere. There's no chance. But if I decide to own it and admit to it, I got a chance. And what do you do with a chance? You take it. You take a chance. You examine it. You have a chance to examine it, to look at it. I made this mistake. But now what? Now what do I do with it? What do I do with this mistake? And this is the place in the life cycle of a mistake here where you can sometimes feel lost, because sometimes these mistakes are, they're heavy, they're big mistakes, or maybe they're even a little mistake, but I've been doing it over and over and I don't quite understand it yet. But if I examine it and I can ask myself, now what with this mistake, then I have this chance. I have the chance to learn, to grow, to change, to forgive, to ask for help, to understand, to try again. I mean, this is what's possible because I took a chance. And then what happens after that? Of course, I make another mistake and I can start again. Because this is a life cycle of a mistake. I mean, that's what happens to us. That's what happens to us. I think this part here is one that Megan talked about. And this part here is a really important part because I already had this written down and she's talked about it. This is the place that answers the question, what will I become? What will I become? That's the gift right here. I might be lost for a while. I might not understand this mistake. But if I can stay here long enough, I have a chance of becoming, not changing. Isn't that a great segue? I mean, we didn't talk about this beforehand, but this is how stuff happens. It's like I can become something. I don't necessarily, well, I do have change in there. I will say that. But I also have this written on this sticky note. What will I become? And then I'll make another mistake. And I'll be a different person when I make this mistake. And I'll come back up here and I'll have the same choices. And I'll either stay stuck here. You also have a chance to make another mistake in this loop, by the way. All right. You can, while you're carrying this, you make another mistake and you have the chance to decide. And that's what that is. This is deciding right here. We can either admit and own it or hide and deny it. That's a choice we make about a mistake. About a mistake. And then we have the chance. Decide how I'm going to use it. Examine it or carry it. There's another little loop here that I want to talk about, which is once we get used to doing this and we become all that we're here to become, we have a chance to bypass this shame and disappointment and fear and worthlessness. And once we start to accept our imperfections, we can bypass this whole thing. We can bypass it all, come right down to admit and go from there. I like that. I like that because who wants to stew here? Well, sometimes we do. And it's not that it's bad. What I'm saying is it's a choice. And when we are willing to accept our imperfections, because we all will make a mistake, if we are able to accept our imperfections, we don't have to spend so much time stewing here. Yeah? Yeah. That's what I came up with. That's what I came up with. So yeah, that's what mistakes are about. Here's the thing about being lost too. You know, Henry David Thoreau is one of my favorite authors, favorite writer, thinker. And he says this about this lost stage, because this can be kind of fearful here when you make a big mistake and you have to stick with it for a while and you have to deal with some of these feelings you're having about shame or guilt. He says this, not until we are lost do we begin to understand ourselves. So this is actually good. This is good. This is not lost as in I'm not going to find my way. This is sitting with it in the meantime so that I can understand myself in a way that I haven't been able to understand myself before. So not until we are lost can we know what's possible. Not until we are walking in the desert with Moses for a long time can we come to the other side and be different, to become something more profoundly aligned with the reason we're here to begin with. Yeah. With the purpose, with what we're here to offer. And how many times do you make a mistake? Well, I say probably lots. Let me tell you this. You all know Thomas Edison is. Not the inventor of the light bulb, but the inventor of the incandescent light bulb. Okay? He was also the inventor of the phonograph and the motion picture camera and the alkaline family of storage batteries and the electric utility system. I mean, the man was incredible. Filled with light, as it were. He has 1,093 U.S. patents in his name. 1,093 U.S. patents in his name. Isn't that incredible? That's incredible. And he has this to say about making mistakes. He says, I have not failed. I have just found 10,000 ways that it won't work. I found them. I accepted my imperfections. They got me exactly to where I got to in my life. Without those 10,000 imperfections, without those 10,000 mistakes or failures, I could have never got to where I got to. I think this is the perspective of a mistake that I'm asking us to consider. Is that we don't spend so much time here that we lose sight of the power and the potential in every mistake. Small mistakes and big mistakes. This is why as a culture that I think we need to seriously adopt, not just kind of adopt, the idea of second chances. Because we all could use one. We all could use one. You know, if you were here for White Stone, I shared the story of the ancient scriptures. You know, when someone came out of prison in ancient times, they let them start again. They didn't overlay all this stuff on them about, they paid their price. They paid their price for their mistake. When people come out of prison here in the United States, do they have a chance? God, they're overlaid with so much burden with things. That how could they, wow. And sometimes we overlay that burden on ourselves as well. You are not the worst thing you ever did. You are not the worst mistake you ever made. I am not. I made them. The idea is, and the question is, what are you going to do with it? And how are you going to become all you're here to be? Yeah? So that's what it's about. Right there. Thanks, Gloria. Yeah. I want you to know that you are just like Edison. It's easy to think about Edison as being a light because of all the light things that he was involved with, but you are a light as well. Some of you are here for Christmas Eve, some of you are not here. I want you to know that you are light. You are light. You make mistakes, but you are light. You'll make more mistakes, you're still light. You are still light. And we are all, and I am still light, and we are all in the phase of becoming that light in the world. So as we go into meditation right now, I'm going to play this song that we played on Christmas Eve from India Ari called I Am Light. So I invite you to take a deep breath in. And in the midst of knowing all the mistakes that you've made and you will continue to make, in the midst of all the mistakes I have made and will continue to make, this is the truth of my being, right here. You are light. I am light.
I am light. mistakes that I have made, or any of the things that cause me pain. I am not the pieces of the dream I left behind. I am light. 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 I am not the color of my eyes. I am not the skin on the outside. I am not my age. I am not my race. My soul inside is all light. Ooh. I am light. I am light. I am light. I am light. I am divinity defined. I am the God on the inside. I am a star, a piece of it all. I am light.
With a deep breath in and out, simply this, amen.
Kaleidoscope, I'm on my way. Another spin around this wheel today. Some call it fate, some call it hope. Life is just a kaleidoscope. Another day, another dream, another vision to be found. Life is never only what is seen. situation, just give it all another twist. Don't you know there's nothing there to fix? 'Cause there ain't nothing there that's broke. Sometimes a good shake is all you need of this old kaleidoscope. Another day, another dream, another vision to be found. Life is never only what it seems, the possibilities abound. When that wheel spins round and round, round and round, round and round. I see going round, down, round and round, round and round and round and round. Where she stops, nobody, 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 nobody knows where she gonna stop. Oh, she go round and round. Oh, round and round.
May I be filled with loving kindness. May I be well. May I be peaceful and at ease. May I be happy. May all beings be filled with loving kindness. May all be well. May all be peaceful and at ease. May all be happy. Until next time, amen. Amen.